Brightest blessings, everyone. I'm actually doing another YouTube video response to a gentleman by the name of Shazulu. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. And Shazulu has asked a questions of Wiccans and witches regarding is it ethical to cast a love spell or a spell to attract love? Um, First off, let me point out he is a Christian, and I'd like to applaud you and thank you from the bottom of my heart for asking an honest question and being respectful about it instead of pointing your finger and damning us to hell simply because we are not Christian. I'd like for you to speak to your other Christian friends. I like doing response videos or having a dialogue with Christians and other people of different faiths. I think it's a very beautiful thing. Now, actually, I came across your video through Aneth's response video towards you. And I tend to take the same view that she does. I hate to use this term. To do a love spell would almost be, I think, technically like a curse. Even though it's a love spell, you're thinking love spell. How can you possibly be cursing someone with a love spell? Because it's love. It's not hate. It's love. Because you're taking away that person's free will. I hate to use the term black and white magic too, because really there is no black magic, there is no white magic, it's all in the intent. But I guess if you're going along the terms of white magic and black magic, it would be considered black magic because you are taking away that person's free will. You are attempting to control them, I guess, in a form of mind control. And again, you ask 10 witches 10 different questions, you're probably going to get 15 different answers. My particular answer is I do not recommend love spells at all. Have I ever done a love spell? Yes, I have. But I don't think that came out too bad because I sat and I listened to the person talking. And this person supposedly couldn't live without this other person. This person was obsessed with this other person, and it turns out that this person really had some serious self-love issues. So basically, I did two things. I made two recommendations. Number one, that she sees some psychological help, because obviously there's something missing there. Second of all, obviously she was having difficulty with her own, with loving herself. And I happen to go along the idea and conclusion that no one can love you unless you truly love yourself. And once you love yourself, then you'll start, it's like the law of natural attraction, and people around you will be naturally attracted to you. Would this person naturally be attracted to her? I don't know. Would this person even be good for her? I don't know. So I did help her with a spell. I did do a love spell, but because she was begging me for help, obviously she wanted help, so I was not, pardon my French, fucking with her free will. Okay? She was asking me for help. So I cast a love spell on her to be attracted and to love herself. And that seemed to work quite well. I also asked that she go and see a therapist. Maybe not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but a therapist. And that helped as well. And it's simply because I've always been, even when I was newer and you hit more of the fluffy stages where you would practice the love spells, I was a little, it just didn't sit right with me. There was just something about it that just didn't sit right with me, and I didn't know what it was exactly right off the bat. I had to sit and meditate on that for a good long time. And it turns out it was actually because you are affecting somebody else's free will. You are taking away that, and that's never, ever, ever good. So I believe that my love spell, because of the way I did it and how I focused it, actually worked quite well. And it did not go against her free will because she was begging for help in that issue. Now, why do I think they have so many love spells and so many different spell books and so many books on Wicca and witchcraft and all that stuff if it's so horrible? Because sex sells. Seriously. When push comes to shove, these people are not writing books because they're philanthropists. No, they're not. They are writing books because it sells. And I will tell anyone, and I do mean anyone, at any point in time, that if you read a book on Wicca and witchcraft, it should not be, as you take it as the end-all, be-all word of the higher authority. You need to stop. You need to drink in what you're reading. You need to think about it. You need to meditate on it. And you need to come up with your own conclusions. Sometimes you may take what a book says and believe it. Sometimes you may believe a lot of it, but not all of it. Sometimes you may totally disregard the book, maybe disregard most of the book, but really hold on to some things that were said. Basically, you pick the meat from the bones. Okay? So yeah, it's a sad thing that there is a lot of love spells and that witchcraft is automatically equated with love spells, but I know that I personally don't like it. Now you do ask where the power comes from, and you're a little weary about that. I don't have such a problem with that because it's the same place that every other power for every other spell comes from yourself. You are given a God-given gift. A lot of witches have just learned to access that kind of power. You have that kind of power. The Mormon across the street has that kind of power. You know, you don't have to be a Wiccan or a pagan or a witch to have that kind of power. We all have that within us. We just found a way to tap into it. It has nothing to do with religious belief. It is our natural abilities, our God-given abilities, so to speak. Hope that answered your question, and blessed be.